They start to drive with Cook. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. You don't see that a ton, do you? A cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Left side, Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Allen now looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
With how the coverage was positioned, up was about the only spot the quarterback had to try and deliver that pass. Just put a little too much height on it. Incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Snap comes at 1, and it's Allen. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. The kick by Bass is good. Every possession in the postseason magnified, and look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
This taken in at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. In motion, the tight end. Here's Jones off the play fake. It's caught by Mike Evans. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. And the tight end goes in motion left. From the 29, Jones. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Jones now on first down. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
It is certainly becoming rarer by the year to see your franchise guy take a hit like that. The defender couldn't believe he had a shot to light him up. So when you take off and run, you have to make sure you can slide, get out of bounds, anything. Just don't leave yourself open to hits like that.
On second down now. It's Barrett, and this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Slot man moves right. Jones to throw on third down. He finds his man complete. That's Barrett. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
First down, Barrett. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. The slot man in motion right. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Behind the chain, 2nd and 13. Off the play fake, Jones. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 33. A good pickup there, a 22.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory, down at the 33. Off play action, Jones. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. To throw on 2nd and 10. Jones being chased out left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game. But after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Off the play fake. Jones. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Bills are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
The turnovers, obviously, Charles, always costly, but when you throw those interceptions in the end zone like that, it really stings.
He tried to fit that one into his tight end, and I often use the expression NFL open, which means a tighter window. Down near the goal line, you really want him to be open. In this case, it cost him.
Finding space at the 40.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 18 more yards there and another first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
First down, here's the run with Cook.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
Okay, I'll admit it. I'm a little surprised by that call. 2nd and inches. It did what it was intended, but it felt like it was a free play waiting to happen. I thought they might take a shot.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there. Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
56.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll get nothing out of that one. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Allen now on the sneak, and he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
But when you do call quarterback sneak, you don't mind if your quarterback's a little bit on the vertically challenged side, do you? Because he's just going to hide behind his big guys up front and be able to surge forward and pick up the first down.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. second quarter action. 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. They'll run with Cook, and this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. They'll run for it with Cook, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked them back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available, and they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
A big one coming in this divisional round playoff, third and goal. Tap forward by Allen on the jet sweep. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on fourth down, out is Tyler Bass in the Buffalo field goal unit. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. The kick by Bass is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They find themselves down here after an interception on their opening drive led to a field goal. But all in all, you'd have to say fortunate to be only down 6.
Yeah, and you know how teams huddle on the sideline before they come out on the field in between series? Guaranteed what's said there is, guess what, guys? We take this ball, move it downfield, put it in the end zone, we're right back to even.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Operating from the gun, Jones. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a third down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free, and there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to third and inches. Now a give, right side. It's Barrett. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
You have to figure with this offense on second and inches, they're in ideal shape, but then they end up getting an incompletion, a run stuffed on third and inches, and you look around and say, how did it become fourth down?
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Barrett. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Play action. Jones. Airing this one out for Evans. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Bills are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, his arm strength never an issue, but this one winds up in the wrong hands.
Oh, the coverage here is just terrific because when it's done really well, Sometimes you can't distinguish whether it's the receiver or the defensive back the ball's intended for. He actually ran with him in perfect motion and able to make a big-time play.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 22, Allen. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. He finds his man, complete. That's Rhodes. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, this from 48. The kick by Bass is good. And that will do it for this first half. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. A fairly short kick from the 14. Now a hit and a loose football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So they take the deficit into the lockers. You know they had plans to receive the football. A nice drive, instead a fumble on the kickoff.
And that can be demoralizing right there because, as you pointed out, they had designs on coming out and, okay, we're going to change things here in the second half. Instead, with a deficit already, they cough it up, and now they've got to find a way to keep the score from mounting bigger against them. And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Cook again. And this Patriot defense up to the challenge once more as they again stop him behind the line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Now Allen. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. Now Cook running right. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding him out on first down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Cook. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never...
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And they're able to add on to their advantage.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise. Methodical is one of the words you've taught me, and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, in a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Off the play fake. Jones. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Gregory Rousseau just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. The Patriots send out their punter, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. Yeah, not a great one there. Out of bounds in the air. And the offense is going to be set up already in enemy territory inside the 45. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 63 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
They run again on first down. Cook down right around the 25. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
One quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Cook. It's so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Cook is in. Touchdown, Bills.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him, and he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main guy.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now, if you want to take a shot on 2nd down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll keep it on the ground. Barrett. And he's going to have a Patriots first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Play action. Jones throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Off the play fake. Jones finding his safety valve here. That's complete. He's got room at the 30.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. This is caught by Evans. Touchdown, Patriots. Mike Evans, 29 yards. And the Patriots are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. And he'll get in for the score, and that's going to cut the lead down to 13. Two scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And the Bills are going to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They run it again with Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, here's Davis Price. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Tyler Bass out for the Bills field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds. They've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Off play action. Jones steps away to his left. And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Davis Price on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. And Allen is actually going to throw it here. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Alert!
Allen off the play fake. Rolling to his right. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Diggs going in motion right. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the 1st time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing Jones. it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. In motion goes the tight end. Throwing on second and long. Jones. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. A big play there for New England. 57 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Now Jones. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Bills will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go to a knee here, and with that, it's on to the AFC title game. The Bills are moving on as we say so long, everybody.